Hi, brothers and sisters. It's Paul here. Um, been on a little bit of a break for many different reasons, but I would like to say that the main one is just to recollect my thoughts, to recenter myself, I guess you could say. And yeah, well, I'll leave it at that. So I got a dream about President Trump a couple of days ago, on the first actually of the year, and it followed me. I was reading Matthew 24. I've been reading Matthew 24 back to back quite a bit lately, followed by other scriptures, but I don't know, my spirit just keeps taking me back there, really paying attention to what's going on, trying to identify things in the news, sitting back. I gotta say, I have noticed and watched many channels be exposed for the frauds that they are. That is something that I myself, I'm not into that. I'm not into going after other people, other Christians, deceived or not. I won't do that. That's just not my style. So I decided to go and take my time and recollect myself. So this is an interesting dream. I've been going back and forth for basically 10 days on how to go about doing this one, because I went from thinking it was nothing to just a long range of different thoughts. But when a dream doesn't go away in my mind and it's clear, 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 I just can't ignore it. So I did my routine ways of trying to get God through the Holy Spirit to give me some confirmations. And anyway, it's not going away. So, like I said, sat back, watched a lot of other people crash and burn, and I'm being very careful what I put out now for many reasons I'm not going to get into. But here we go. So this one I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm just going to explain it. I'll put the scriptures at the end to show you that they are all attached to scriptures, so it's not me making it up. And I gotta say that I've been in training. I've been training my mind, my heart, and my soul to understand what's happening, what is being shared, and what is being deceived. Anyway, I'll get into that in another video. So here's the dream. I did not see myself, so this was something I was shown, but it was almost like I was standing beside the people in the dream, so definitely being shown this. So anyway, in the dream, I saw President Trump, and he, at the beginning of the dream, was in a social event, like a very, very large gathering. Might have been some kind of a media event, I don't know. And he was surrounded by young people. They were all millennials, people of from the late teens to younger than 30, but very large group of millennials. And I witnessed them giving each other these little kind of handshakes like that. It was really bizarre how they were doing it. And they were showing him the current little handshakes. He was showing them the ones back in his day, all the different ones, hey, cool dude, whatever. So it was kind of comedic actually to see it happen. And then the scene changed, and I saw this young man, very young man, early 20s, and he was with the band AC/DC. And I think that's around the time that band started, but the 1972 popped out of my head. Like I remember that very clearly, hearing that year, and I knew that this man was the manager, and I saw him go from young to like what he looks like today, and he's quite an elderly man, like late 60s, possibly even around 70. And I wrote from nerd to cool because in the beginning they were nobodies, they were unpopular, and then they became popular. And then the scene went back to Donald Trump, but now they were at a large estate, like, and I mean a very large estate. And he was standing what seemed like an incredibly large carport. He, yeah, and there was a dragster car in it, and there was a couple that looked to be in their mid 50s, and they were so excited that he was endorsing them somehow. And, they were looking at the car, and I guess it seemed like they wanted to start the race. And he turned around and he faced off into the field. And way off in the field, you saw this large estate house, and there was tree lines on both sides. And he was telling them that when the dragster would get up and go, the smoke would be from edge to edge, tree line to tree line. No idea what that means. And after he had said that, they began to walk away from the car out of this carport area. And he started to point at different parts of the grass, saying, this is where I'm going to put my games. And I don't know why I wrote this. I wrote missed work and I wrote Friday. I have no clue what that means. And then it ended with him taking his suit jacket off and his tie. And he began to work on almost what looked like arcade games. I'm not sure what they were, but at first glance I thought they were VLTs, but they were too big. They were bigger games. So anyway, that was the end of that dream. And that kind of stirred me out of my sleep at 6:07 in the morning. And the date this was I wrote the 10th of January 2020. And I kind of got up and I realized I needed to kind of go to the washroom, ran back, and I had about an hour before I had to get up. So I went back to sleep. And I said, God, if this is yours, please continue and show me at your own will what you want me to know. So nothing eventful happened. And right before my alarm went off, it was really weird. I was shown a metal door, a very large metal door with a trim on it. I don't recall the color, but it was like I was inches away from it. And then all of a sudden, boom, I was probably 6 feet away from the door. And I heard it slam, and this noise. If anybody is old enough to remember the cars older than the 1970s going backwards, when you shut those doors, you heard the metal slam. And the only thing I could think of that the noise this door made was I myself have never been in the Navy. I've never been on a battleship or a submarine. But in my experiences of watching documentaries and movies, I know that when they slam these metal, heavy steel doors, they make a certain noise, and this is the noise I heard, like a steel door being slammed. So anyway, that's the dream, and I'm gonna invite interpretation on this one. I have interpreted it myself. I have put I found the scriptures attached to them, but this is definitely not directed to me. It's directed to somebody who can better interpret this. So I hope you guys can help me out on this one. I love you guys. I missed you. I hope everybody had great holidays, and I wish you all a happy new year. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Love you guys, and please take this to prayer. Please use your discernment on this. For those of you with the gift of interpretation, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.